Hey guys, welcome to Nerdarchy for Nerds by Nerds. I'm Ted, hanging out with
Dave,
Ryan,
and today we're going to do another issue or episode of DM Tools, What to Work On. We're going to talk about faith portfolios.
but before you do that, you can type down below and go sign up for the Nerdarchy newsletter, where you can get great GM tips. You can also learn how to game with Nerdarchy and other happenings and goings on.
So,
Cut you off, didn't I?
yeah, that's all right.
So when you're preparing your material, you don't have to have an entire pantheon portfolio to play. You need to make sure that you're aware of the faiths that are going to be important to your player characters and to your region, your area, things that are going to be important to the story arcs that you're running. So we have a wide portfolio in our world, and
Sort of. It's in flux.
well, I mean, we in the last campaign world that we worked on together years ago, we said there are 30 gods. That's it. We put forth a thing, and that was that. I believe the world we're on now, it's pretty much an open-ended spectrum where it's like, all right, we can have as much as we really need. We're not locking it down to a specific number.
And speaking of that, so preparing for the things that are going to be relevant to your game, you get a player that wants to play a paladin or a cleric of something, and they're like, well, what are your gods? And well, what kind of god do you want to worship? Let's make it.
Exactly.
Yeah? Or either, they tell you what they're looking for, all right, do I have a god in mind that already sort of fits that, or let's develop it right now.
Exactly. So you've got the ability to give the player almost exactly what they want, or exactly what they want, if it's going to fit within your story, within your world, within your arc, and you've got the ability to just be like, all right. Let's do it.
I want to worship the god of barehandedly punching Tarrasques in the face. Do you have that faith in your world?
We've got three. Which one would you like?
Yeah.
Now, so and staying with the premise of what to work on, really, what do you need? You need a name, and you need a portfolio of maybe three things that God cares about.
Okay, let's take, for instance, I play a cleric in your game, and he worships Quenthel, the goddess of secrets, magic, and knowledge. Done. That's all you really need, because that tells you, okay, the persona is female, and those three things are the deity's primary concern. So therefore, my character cares about knowledge. I care about uncovering knowledge, and the secrets. Well, is it keeping secrets or sharing of information? Well, it's sharing of information. Okay.
Well, it could be, or it could be. You could have a dark sect that's all about hoarding knowledge.
That's the other side of Quenthel in our world. But it's like, all right, I've got enough to work with here as a worshiper. It's like, all right, well, Nate's cleric in my game, he worships a deity, and it's like nature, time, and something else, and it's like, all right, he's not really going for the actual cleric side of his character. That's just like, okay, well, that's more of a mechanical choice and a cool story thing. His character goals are in another direction. He's uncertain as to why this deity chose him.
You can use this as an opportunity to develop it with the players as well. Mm-hmm. So you don't really put forth any more information than you really need to. So because Ted's got a character that's a cleric, then okay, well, we should probably come up with a holy symbol. Maybe we should come up with holy days, but it can be done with the player and the GM together. As the GM, you don't need to have all that information ahead of time. You might have something coming up in your game where you're going to involve a religion or a church, and it's based around a holiday. Boom, you write it down. You add that to the deity, but you kind of build them as you go
on
along.
The fly. Yeah,
there's no need to just lump it all in all at once. Like I said, we've done the full deity write up with all of this different stuff. What holidays are important. What months are important. All this different stuff, and it was a long waste of time, because it's like, oh well, that deity never came up.
How much of that actually got used?
So here's the thing, it could be sometimes that you just have these ideas that are exploding out of your mind, and all right, jot them down, because you just have them. That's fine. But if you're spending time that you could have been working on what you need to prep for your next session, doing that and actually using mental resources to come up with this stuff that doesn't just come to mind, then work on the stuff for your game. That's going to come first.
So that's what the work on for the portfolios comes from. You take an index card, you write a name on it, and you write 3 things for a portfolio. It doesn't have to be 3 things. It could be 4. It could be 1.
Yeah.
And then you set it aside until it becomes relevant to what you're doing.
Right.
And then you can add to that index card.
Or if you want to go in the text space, use Evernote, and you can make like folders and like indexes. Like basically, you can use like you can put keywords on there. And
the difference between Dave and Ryan.
Yeah.
Digital versus non.
I can pull up Evernote from my laptop, my phone, my Kindle.
I'm not saying either one of you is right or wrong.
Oh no, I'm right. I'm right because that index card can get like lost, like when you're putting shit in your car, and it's out on the side of the street, and all the work that's on it is gone.
But can you pull something random from Evernote?
Random? What do you mean?
Exactly. That's what I mean. I can randomly pull out an index card.
Sure, and then transcribe it back into Evernote, and then you'll have it evermore.
And what happens if you don't have Wi-Fi?
Well, you can actually work of it online and offline the next time you're on.
But now we're
Wi-Fi,
getting into a
it
whole other
uploads.
video series, and that's what the
Why tech is
what to
superior to anyone writing shit down because you can lose it forever.
All right, so we'll keep this one short. Work on your deity portfolios.
Invest, diversify your stocks, your bonds.
But don't work on them too much.
A name, a holy symbol if you want to go crazy. What their couple domains would be. So if you guys have any thoughts about deity portfolios and what to work on, put your thoughts down below. While you're at it, like, share, even subscribe.
You can hang out with us at nerdarchy.com.
And you can also check out Nerdarchy, the store.
Get some sweet swag. So until next time, stay nerdy.